Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the second installment of the trilogy, remaking the original 1997 release of Final Fantasy VII. The first part released in 2020, and I played that right before this one released, and went straight into Rebirth. The thing that stands out to me, playing both these games back to back, is how much I love the characters in this game. Some of the greatest, most iconic in all of gaming, methinks. Cloud Strife is our lead, and he has a problem, right? He hates this guy Sephiroth, and he wants to kill him and stop him from causing harm to everything, right? But where is he? Nobody knows, so Cloud has to find him. He is an ex-soldier who was infused with Mako to make him stronger. However, the Mako may be powering him up, but there is a yin and a yang to this, and it may be causing more harm than good. Cloud must tackle his arch-nemesis Sephiroth, but is Cloud in fit enough condition to take on this threat? He can't do this alone, and must rely on his friends to see him through this impossible challenge. Journeying with Cloud are all the amazing characters you have come to know and love from the previous game. You have Barret. He's big and strong and has a Gatling gun for an arm. He is missing his daughter Marlene, and is great to play as in the combat sequences. You have Red 13, who is like the dog of the group, but he has a fiery tail, does backflips, and has these like awesome anime energy blast power things, and he is epic. Still, when he growls, he sounds like a bit of a Diddy, but that actually makes sense by the end of the game, and he won back brownie points for that. Then you have Kate Sith, who is a robot cat thing, and he's Scottish! Yes! Well, he has what we call Scottish actor's voice, where he over-enunciates his T's and vowels, so all the non-Scots understand what he's saying. You also have 3 gals in the group, and these are the romance options, lads. You have everyone's favourite pick, Yuffie, who has a ninja star and is obsessed with Mako, like really obsessed. You also have Tifa, Cloud's childhood friend, who is a beast in combat, fights things hand to hand with these powered up gloves. She's the cool one in the short skirt that always has your back and has a very strong storyline in this game. Then you have Aerith, the last of the ancients, powerful humans in this universe who have been gone for centuries, who is one of the most iconic romances in gaming history for reasons I will not spoil for you here. Don't worry, play for yourself and you will find out. But as evil as Sephiroth is, he is not the biggest threat in this game. Cloud and the gang will have to overcome the biggest obstacle in gaming that makes Millennia from Elden Ring look like a big fluffy teddy. Chadley, right? Chadley is a wee cyborg human child thing who just decides his wee side quests are more important than saving the universe, and he turns up everywhere, okay? When he pulled up as an opponent in the card tournament on the cruise ship, I was determined to absolutely destroy this child, right? He Zoom calls you randomly as well, and there's 2 of them now. Yes, there's now a female Chadley as well that phones you, since one wasn't enough. Yeah, Square Enix, thanks. I have always been a fan of the Japanese style of video game design. This game has such a great balance of tones, and it allows it to appeal to almost all audiences at different moments in the game. Almost anyone can enjoy this game. It has cartoonish moments that seem like it's aimed for kids, then it hits you with a serious dramatic moment that's aimed at the grown-ups. It has romance moments and female characters that feel like something out of a Disney princess movie. Then you have guns and action sequences that feels like G.I. Joe or something. The combat is excellent, right? You play as any of the characters and swap them out between battles, and you can make like your own custom squad of 3, and you get these like awesome team up special moves that are just brilliant. You can unlock summons throughout the game that Chadley gives you. I'll give him props there. I always summoned Ifrit because I played Final Fantasy 16. That was my first Final Fantasy game. I'm late, sorry. And it felt like calling an old friend for backup from another game. That was ace. Red 13 is awesome in the combat. They all are, especially Tifa. But Cloud's combat is so weighty and he feels powerful and strong when playing as him. He was just brilliant. The open world is gigantic in this. There are side quests dotted about, and each one has Cloud and gives focus to one of the squad mates, so you get to spend one-on-one time with each of them and build up your relationships with them over the course of the game. The storyline is the standout of this game. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth had one of my favourite storylines in any game for me, especially playing the two back-to-back, Remake and Rebirth. Awesome. I absolutely loved the characters, and it was a long game. I was pushing 50 hours, and I was hooked from like start to finish. The stakes are higher than part 1, but Cloud has matured since the last game, and it's amazing to see him slowly becoming a leader. He even looks older in this, just the design. There's a great scene with Cloud and Tifa. It's about halfway into the game where he starts opening up more to her, and she eggs him on to keep going. There are a few twists and turns in there that I didn't see coming, and I did really like the piano mini games. I figured out how to play AC/DC on it. TNT, yes, easy. The music is astonishing in all the Final Fantasy games that I've played, and it's no different here, especially once you get to the final act of the game. The music becomes full-on cinema, and it just makes the game so epic and moving in the end. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is an incredible game, and it looks amazing as well. Comparing it to the previous game side by side, it looks way sharper, even in the cutscenes, but the open world looks glorious. You travel all over the place, from swamps to caves, take part in parades, and it is a globe-trotting adventure alongside Cloud's best friends in the world. Some really funny moments in there, but then there are some sad, more serious moments that sucker punch you. There's a nice moment when Aerith gives a monologue to a group of people, and I really liked that scene. You'll see it when you play it. But the silly moments are very over the top, and that's just the Japanese style. It totally worked for me, especially the evil laughing in these games by the baddies. I love that. The boss fights are superb. The music is thunderous, and it blasts the original Final Fantasy VII music, but now with a massive orchestra behind it. And it's glorious to hear when fighting giant monsters. The last game, it felt like it was mostly robots I was fighting, but this time there is less Shinra presence in the missions, compared to part 1 that is. So you are battling the monsters that are out there in the world mostly instead. It's different from the last game. I think I liked them equally, right? I played both for the first time like back to back, so it felt like one game to me almost. However, the graphics are better and the story is grander and more epic, and it is now open world, so it is different. The first part, however, I liked how you got to spend lots of one-on-one time with both Aerith and Tifa at different parts of the game. This one, they're all together most of the time. You still get plenty of one-to-one time, but part 1, you had hours with just Tifa at the start, and then Aerith takes over for the next section of the game, and then they come together and it's all 3 of you. That was nice. I liked that in the remake, but this is equally good to me. I liked that this one, it hammers home, especially at the end, that no matter what is going on, this is Cloud's story. The other characters are major supporting characters and play huge roles, but in the end, it is Cloud that leads Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I liked this approach to it. You're seeing the world through his eyes, and they got pretty clever with that in the end. In the end, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a spectacular game, and it is so far my favourite game of 2024. So get your phone and call in sick, my friend. Tifa and Aerith are waiting for you. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Yes.